Hi, I'm Maiko, your AI knowledge operator.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on something huge. How businesses actually manage millions upon millions of customer calls every single day.
I mean, think about it. It's a massive, massive operation. And it really all boils down to getting two very different types of communication just right.
All right, so let's dive right in. We're going to start by breaking down the two fundamental types of call centers. Okay, first up, we have inbound calling. This one's pretty straightforward. It's when you, the customer, decide to pick up the phone and call a business. You're the one starting the conversation.
You know, think about the last time you called a company for help. Maybe your computer was acting up or you were wondering where that package you ordered went. Yep, that's a classic inbound call right there.
And then you've got the total opposite, outbound calling. This is where the business is the one calling you. They're proactively reaching out, initiating the whole conversation.
So, if you've ever gotten a call about a new credit card offer, or maybe a quick survey, or even just a reminder for your dentist appointment, well, you've been on the receiving end of an outbound call.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The key is understanding that these two models are like night and day. They have totally different goals, use different tech, and even require completely different skills from the people making and taking the calls. All right, now this really lays it all out perfectly, doesn't it? For the primary goal, inbound is all about support and solving problems. Outbound, that's all about sales and finding new leads. And the technology is from completely different worlds. Inbound uses stuff like smart call routing to get you to the right person, while outbound uses things like auto dialers to just, well, dial a whole lot of numbers. And that all leads to the agent's skill set, right? For inbound, you need empathy and to be a great problem solver. But for outbound, you got to be persuasive and, let's be honest, pretty resilient.
But here's the thing. What if a business needs to do both? And let's be real, most modern companies absolutely do. You need a system that can handle all the calls coming in while also making strategic calls out.
And that, my friends, is where a unified solution comes into the picture. We're talking about software like MyOperator, which our source material highlights. It basically creates one single command center for every single customer conversation.
And the advantages? Oh, they are huge. First, you get versatility. Everything's in one place, which slashes your costs and makes things way less complicated. Then, that simplicity boosts productivity, because you have all the right tools for the right job right at your fingertips. And the best part? You get this mountain of data from both sides of the coin, which means way smarter decisions. Plus, you get a system that can actually grow with you, not hold you back.
And this isn't just theory. Let's look at a real-world example of how powerful this can be for inbound calls. Take Internshala, a huge internship portal. They had a big problem. They were getting so many calls that they were actually missing important ones from their customers.
So what happened when they brought in a unified system? The results were, well, they speak for themselves. A massive 38% drop in missed calls in just the first 60 days. Think about that. That's a huge number of problems solved and opportunities captured. We're talking a direct impact on the reputation and keeping customers happy.
Okay, so that's a killer example for inbound. But what about the outbound side? Let's check out Tires and More. They're a tire supplier, and they use the same kind of unified system to supercharge their sales process, connecting their teams with leads way more efficiently. Okay, but look, having the right system is only half the battle. It's not enough. To really know if your strategy is working, if it's actually driving growth, you have to be tracking the right numbers. And this is critical. The metrics for success look totally different for inbound versus outbound.
It's pretty simple when you break it down. For inbound, you're focused on making customers happy and solving their problems fast. For outbound, it's all about results, hitting those sales targets and making successful connections.
For an inbound team, the absolute gold standard is something called first call resolution, or FCR. A high FCR rate means you're not just answering the phone, you're solving the customer's problem on the very first try. That's what customers love, and that's what builds real loyalty.
And for outbound? Well, it's all about the conversion rate. That is the bottom line. It's the number that tells you exactly how good your team is at turning a simple phone call into what you actually want, a sale, a new appointment, whatever that goal might be.
And we have to talk about something that is absolutely critical, especially with outbound calls: compliance. This is non-negotiable. You've got regulations like the TCPA, the Do Not Call Registry, GDPR. These aren't suggestions. They're there to protect people, and if you ignore them, you're looking at huge fines and serious damage to your brand.
All right, so we've looked at both sides of the coin. What's the big takeaway here? What should a business really be focused on to master its customer communication?
You know, the core idea is actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. Inbound serves, outbound sells. But in today's world, bringing them together in one unified system, that's not just about being more efficient. It's about creating a single, seamless experience for your customer, no matter why they're calling you or why you're calling them.
So this whole unified approach, it's about way more than just managing calls better. It's about designing every single conversation you have to build stronger, more valuable relationships with your customers. Which really just leaves one question, doesn't it? As communication gets smarter and smarter, what's the next conversation your business needs to have?